My wife, the bright moon in my heart, was gone. For 10 years, she had hated me. I tried my best to make things right, but she remained cold and indifferent. If you truly want to please me, you might as well just die, she would say. It pierced my heart. Yet, when a truck hurtled towards us, she risked her life to push me out of harm's way, dying in a pool of blood. With her last breath, she looked deeply into my eyes and whispered, "I wish I had never met you." At her funeral, her mother was overwhelmed with grief. "I should have supported Lily and Harry from the start," she sobbed. "I shouldn't have forced her to marry you." Her father glared at me, resentment burning in his eyes. "Lily saved you 3 times. Why her? Why wasn't it you who died? A good person like her." Everyone regretted Lily marrying me, even myself. I was distraught and chased away from the funeral. 3 years later, a time machine appeared. I returned to the past, determined to sever all ties with Lily, fulfilling everyone's wish. A blinding light erupted from the time machine. I squeezed my eyes shut, but then Lily's mocking voice rang in my ears. "My parents used death to force me to marry you, Luke. You really are something. But even if we get married, what do you think you'll achieve? Do you think we'll be happy?" I opened my eyes and saw Lily, alive and well, standing before me. She wore an elegant long dress, her hair tied up in a ponytail, radiating vitality. Her eyes held undisguised mockery. The Lily of the future was cold, mature, and unapproachable, but now she was still young, vibrant, and mischievous. Seeing her, my nose stung. The time machine really had sent me back to the past, though it seemed there was a mistake. It hadn't returned me to the time we were released from prison, but to 10 years ago, the day Lily and I were preparing to get married. Fortunately, there was still a chance to change everything. I suppressed the bitterness in my heart, greedily gazing at her. "Lily," I said, "you don't want to marry me because the person you truly want to marry is Harry, right?" I didn't know if I had touched a nerve, but her body stiffened slightly. Then, she looked at me coldly. "So what? We are already at the Civil Affairs Bureau. Are you saying you want to back out now?" I nodded straightforwardly, "Yes." Lily chuckled dryly. "I don't have time to play hard to get with you. Sign the papers, get the marriage certificate, and then get out. I'll wait for you outside." Watching her retreating figure, my heart ached as if being twisted. Whether in the past life or this one, I had loved Lily for many years. She had risked her life to save me twice. I once naively thought she secretly liked me too. Her parents even told me Lily was cold on the outside but warm on the inside. If she didn't love you, why would she risk death twice to save you? I believed it, and joyfully prepared to marry her, until the bright moon in her heart passed away. Only then did I realize the person she loved was not me. Her last words, "If only I had never met you," completely crushed me. My 10 years of love had been exchanged for her 10 years of pain. Before activating the time machine, a wise monk had told me, "You can only sever the karmic bond with Lily by fulfilling her 3 regrets. That way, she will no longer die for you at the age of 30. Both you and she can then walk your own smooth paths." I lowered my head and filled in Harry's name on the marriage registration form. I remembered clearly the 3 regrets Lily had written in her diary: regret marrying Luke, regret not resisting her parents' arrangements, and regret not being able to save Harry. Now, at least the first regret was about to be fulfilled. I took the 2 marriage certificates and walked outside. Lily was waiting for me at the door. She instinctively reached for the certificates, but I held them back tightly. I smiled gently at her. "Lily, take a look tomorrow. There might be a surprise." She frowned, looking at me. "You're acting a bit strange today. Are you so happy you're going crazy because you're marrying me?" "Yes, it is very worth being happy," I chuckled, "because I finally get to see you alive." I smiled. "I think you are the most wonderful person in the world. Anyone who marries you will surely be very happy." She snorted coldly, turned her head, and walked away. If I didn't know she didn't like me, I might have thought she was embarrassed. Nearby, a young couple was excitedly chatting. "There's a once-in-a-century meteor shower tonight. They say that couples who watch meteor showers together will be together forever. Let's go watch it too." My footsteps slowed. I remembered that night in my past life. I had held a sliver of hope that she would love me, so I begged her to go watch the meteor shower with me. But in return, I only received her cold, mocking tone. "Just watching a meteor shower can make a couple last forever? If that's how you think, wouldn't everyone in the world who watches meteor showers get their wish? What are you dreaming of?" This time, I no longer held any hope. But Lily suddenly spoke up. You want to go watch the meteor shower? I can go with you, but don't expect any honeymoon. The company is busy. I don't have time. I stared at her in surprise, not expecting her to bring it up herself. But quickly, I calmly accepted. Though her words were sharp, Lily was fundamentally a kind-hearted person. Otherwise, she wouldn't have risked her life to save me 3 times. The first time was when I was 18 years old. I was robbed in a small alley. To save me, she was slashed in the right hand, severely damaging the nerves. From then on, she could no longer play the piano, and her dream of becoming a pianist vanished. The second time was during an earthquake. Lily and I were buried under rubble. She tricked me into eating all the remaining food and water, leaving the chance of survival to me. If the rescue team hadn't arrived in time, she might have died there. The third time was when the truck rushed towards us. She hugged me tightly. Shattered glass fragments flew out, piercing deep into the back of her head, while I, protected by her, only suffered minor scratches. 3 times she used her life to save me. How could I not love her? But Lily didn't wait for my answer, seeming impatient. Are you going or not? To watch the meteor shower. I snapped back to reality, smiling at her. Okay. We'll go together tonight. Only then did Lily's brow relax. She waved for a taxi. Let's go home first. We'll go to the observatory late tonight. It should be just in time. Just then, her phone rang. Her face immediately darkened. Harry is injured. His hand is hurt. I'm going to see him for a bit. You go home first. I nodded. Okay. She seemed surprised. You used to be so upset when I went to see him. Why are you acting differently now? I opened my mouth to say something, but she laughed coldly. Oh, right. We're married now anyway. He can't threaten you anymore. Text me when you get home. With that, she got into the car and left, not noticing my eyes filled with loss and my bitter smile. In fact, I had never prevented her special feelings for Harry. It was just that once, I accidentally caught Harry kissing a middle-aged woman with her parents. After investigation, I found out he had long been kept by wealthy older women. That's why I tried my best to stop Lily from continuing to see him, but she was completely unaware of this. After Harry's death, she suffered for 10 years. If I had to choose, I would rather see her and Harry together than have her endure such torment, ultimately dying for me. The guilt and regret could crush a person. I sighed. First, I went to school to pick up my direct admission letter, and then returned home. Lily's parents had prepared a lavish dinner, waiting for me. Her mother happily grabbed my hand. Luke, you're back so soon? Did you get the marriage certificate? Why didn't Lily come home with you? I smiled. She's busy with work. She went to the company. Her mother grumbled. That girl, even on such an important day, she can't put her work aside. Her father laughed. Being dedicated to her career is good too. Anyway, the 2 of you are married now. There will be plenty of time for family meals. Her mother mumbled in discontent, clearly dissatisfied. Looking at the warm family scene before me, my nose stung. I took a deep breath and slowly said, Uncle, Aunt, Lily and I are not registered as married. I've completed the procedures for studying abroad, and I will be leaving the country in 2 days. The atmosphere suddenly froze. Her mother was stunned. You 2 aren't married? Did Lily bully you again? That girl is tough on the outside, but she cares about you a lot inside. She really likes you. We can all see it. You 2 love each other. Of course you should be together. Moreover, you also know that Harry is not a good person. We can't let him get his way. Her father also nodded in agreement. Lily is just stubborn. If you persevere, she will soften sooner or later. These words sounded so familiar. They had said exactly the same things before. Unfortunately, the forced marriage ultimately led to a result that everyone regretted. I took her mother's hand and said softly, Uncle, Aunt, please don't get agitated. First, listen to me. Although I don't want to admit it, the truth is that a forced bitter melon cannot become sweet. Lily has never actually liked me. Last night, I had a dream. In the dream, Lily and I were married, but she never accepted me. She buried herself in work every day, working herself to exhaustion and collapse. The porridge I cooked, she refused to drink. When she was sick, she wouldn't let me take care of her. She said the pain I brought her was greater than any happiness I could give her. Even at the age of 30, to save me, she died under a truck. Speaking of this, my heart ached so much that it was hard to breathe. Her mother was stunned, but still tried to comfort me. But that was just a dream, Luke. Lily wouldn't be like that. I took a deep breath, forcing a smile. Uncle, Aunt, if I could choose again, I wish she hadn't married me. We may not be husband and wife, but I want her to live a long and peaceful life. And this is not baseless. I paused, looking at them deeply, then continued, Lily loves music, but she had to give it up to enter the business world. She hates being forced onto paths not of her choosing. If her hand hadn't been injured that year, she wouldn't have had to take this path. It's the same now. If not for your arrangements, she wouldn't have married me. It all stems from me. It's all my fault. I don't want this mistake to continue. I took a deep breath, smiling faintly. I've already booked my plane ticket, but I will always remember your kindness. I will definitely be filial to you in the future. Her mother quietly wiped away tears. Her voice was gentle. You are a good child, Luke. It's just that Lily doesn't have the blessing to marry you. I hugged them, my eyes also reddening. My voice still carried a smile. It's okay. If I can't be your son-in-law, then I can be your son. I will still take care of you in the future. At this point, Lily's parents finally gave up their insistence, accepting my decision. I remembered Lily's second regret in her diary. Perhaps it was now fulfilled. The time machine only gave me 36 hours to stay here. Now I only had one last regret to fulfill. Could I do it? As night fell, I went to the observatory alone. This was the best location to watch the meteor shower. I leaned against the low railing, faintly carrying a hint of anticipation. I didn't know how long I had waited when the door behind me suddenly opened. I happily turned around, my eyes full of hope. Lily, you're here? But her expression was extremely gloomy. In just a few steps, she was in front of me, her eyes filled with anger. Luke, just because I didn't take you home and went to see Harry, you ran to tattle to my parents? Do you know that because of this, when they called to scold him, Harry was distracted while crossing the road and had a traffic accident? Now he is losing blood badly. He might not make it. Are you satisfied now? I was stunned. In the past life, Harry also had an accident and lost too much blood, but due to a blood bank shortage, he couldn't be rescued in time and eventually died. After that incident, Lily hated me more than ever. But in the previous life, this happened a month after the wedding. Why did it come so early this time? I had been thinking about how to fulfill Lily's third regret. Unexpectedly, the opportunity came to me. I looked straight at her. So, you came to find me because you want me to donate blood for him, right? Hearing this, Lily was slightly taken aback, then laughed coldly, full of anger. Do you think I wouldn't dare? This matter is originally your fault. You owe him. Saying that, she grabbed my wrist and dragged me straight to the hospital. Arriving at the hospital, I immediately donated 400 cubic centimeters of blood. I felt like all my strength was drained, my whole body limped. But the doctor frowned, his tone worried. This amount of blood is still not enough. The blood matching process will take at least another 10 minutes, but I don't know if the patient can hold on until then. I looked up at Lily. She was only focused on Harry lying on the hospital bed, his pale face clearly reflected in her eyes. It was a look of heartache and pity that she had never given me. The nurse was about to remove the foreline from my arm. I gently stopped her and smiled softly. Please help me take another 400 cubic centimeters. The nurse panicked, quickly dissuading me. No, you can only donate a maximum of 400 cubic centimeters of blood at a time. But I still smiled. It's okay. I'll be fine after a little rest. Saving someone is more important. The doctor rushed out of the emergency room, loudly announcing, the blood transfusion is still not fast enough. Quickly coordinate more blood. The patient is about to give out. I urged the nurse. The nurse looked at me with grateful eyes. You are really a good person. When the patient wakes up, he will definitely be very grateful to you. Lily's lips moved, as if wanting to say something, but she hesitated. In the end, she only said softly, Luke, I will repay you. The small needle pierced my vein. I smiled softly at her. It's okay. I'm willing. He once risked his life for me. Now I'm just protecting the person he loves most. What's so important? But I underestimated the consequences of excessive blood donation. Dizziness rushed over me. Darkness descended before my eyes. My body lost balance and fell. When I opened my eyes again, I realized I was lying in a hospital bed. The injection site was carefully bandaged. Lily was not here. Everyone around was busy. No one noticed me waking up. I raised my head to look at the wall clock. There was only 1 hour left before I had to return to the past. On the small TV in the hospital room, they were replaying images of the once-in-a-century meteor shower. The meteor shower was beautiful indeed. It's just a pity that I missed it again. Just as I thought, my wish would never be fulfilled. I stared blankly at the screen until footsteps sounded beside my ear. Immediately after, Lily's voice, both tired and happy, spoke up. You're awake. Harry is also awake. Luckily, you donated blood and time yesterday. I turned my head to look at her. Really? That's great. Seeing my pale face, she suddenly froze, then awkwardly said, Thank you for your trouble. After a pause, she lowered her voice again. What I said last night was a bit too much. But anyway, you shouldn't have told my parents about me and him. You shouldn't interfere. Hearing this, my heart felt squeezed. She always misunderstood me. If it were 10 years ago, I would definitely rush to explain. But now we were destined to part ways. In the future, my path and hers would no longer intersect. Misunderstanding or not, it no longer mattered. The atmosphere became silent. Lily suddenly spoke up. Yesterday I said I would go watch the meteor shower with you, but I couldn't. She looked at me, seeming a little apologetic. You used to say you wanted to go to the travel agency. I'll go with you in a few days for a trip. I was slightly stunned, not expecting her to still remember this. I was surprised for a moment, then shook my head to refuse. No need, Lily. Rarely, Lily didn't argue with me. She took out her phone and immediately booked plane tickets for 5 days later. You can be angry with me, but I've already booked the tickets. After you recover, we'll go on our honeymoon. I looked at her and said softly, No need, Lily. She looked at me, her eyes full of doubt. I smiled faintly. No need to be stubborn anymore, and no need to feel guilty towards me. I owe you so much. How can you possibly repay me? These words I spoke to her were also reminding myself. But Lily was not happy, immediately interrupting me. What are you talking about? I didn't answer. The atmosphere fell silent again. Lily turned to pour a cup of hot water, handing it to me. I saw her hand tremble slightly. Probably because of the rainy weather, her old wound relapsed. The painful memories and heartache in me surged up together. I asked softly, Because of saving me, you became like this. Do you regret it? Lily lowered her head, placing the water cup in front of me. Her long hair fell down, obscuring the expression on her face. She said softly, No regrets. Whether it was you or someone else, I would have saved them. Just like the earthquake that year. I saw her fingers slightly tighten, but she still calmly replied, Whether it was anyone, I would have saved them. Sure enough, that was it. She was inherently a kind-hearted person, never turning a blind eye to others in need. I smiled faintly, but my eyes were filled with boundless pain. Lily, thank you. You really are a very good person. I paused for a moment, then softly continued. I didn't know this before, always clinging to you and refusing to let go. You must have been very miserable, right? A kind person like her, yet tormented by me for 10 years and ultimately dying for me. I was truly her misfortune. I closed my eyes slightly, tears falling silently. Lily's eyes flashed with a rare hint of panic. What nonsense are you talking about? At this moment, the secretary rushed in, her voice urgent. Director Lou, Mr. Harry is woken up. Lily's face instantly lit up. She hurriedly turned to leave, but I softly called her name. She turned her head back. I looked straight at her, the corners of my lips curving into a warm smile like sunlight. Sorry, Lily. I wish you peace, happiness, and all the best in the future. Lily vaguely realized something unusual in my words. What's wrong? Why are you talking like you're saying goodbye? She frowned. I'm just going to see Harry for a bit. If there's anything, wait until I come back to talk. Having said that, she quickly left. At this point, I had less than half an hour before I had to return to the past. I gently removed the 4-needle, stood up, and left the hospital. After visiting Harry, Lily returned to my hospital room carrying a large bag full of nourishing soup. But when she entered, the room was empty. She tried calling my name a few times, but no one answered. An indescribable sense of unease suddenly surged in her heart. She reflexively took out her phone, intending to call me, but just then, the secretary rushed in from outside, breathless. Director Lou, something big has happened. The secretary gasped, her voice trembling. 10 minutes ago, Mr. Luke had a traffic accident. He lost a lot of blood, but just at that time, the hospital blood bank was short. He didn't make it. With a thud, the thermos in Lily's hand fell to the ground, the hot soup splashing everywhere. Immediately after, was her terrified and furious shout. What did you say? It was as if a heavy punch had landed squarely on her heart, making it so painful that Lily couldn't breathe. She tried to force herself to calm down, quickly walking towards the door, but her legs suddenly went weak, almost collapsing. The assistant beside her quickly caught her. "Where is he? Take me to see him immediately." The assistant led Lily running to the ward. She rushed in, forcefully pushing open the door. "Wait, Ms. Liu, you can't go in now." Several nurses hurriedly tried to stop her, but she pushed them aside forcefully. She trembled as she walked to the bedside, her hand stiffly lifting the white cloth covering the face of the person lying there. The moment she clearly saw the face, she suddenly fell silent. This was not Luke. A nurse blushed, explaining, "This person just happened to have the same name as Mr. Luke. He also came to the hospital today to donate blood." Because news of Mr. Harry's accident spread quickly in the area, many people came to volunteer to donate blood to help. Occasionally, there are people with the same name. It's normal. Lily was stunned for a moment. Then she gently covered the white cloth back and said softly, "Sorry, I was too agitated. I caused trouble for everyone." After being ushered out of the ward by the nurses, the assistant embarrassedly wiped sweat from his forehead. "I'm so sorry, Director Liu. I was too hasty. I didn't confirm clearly before reporting to you." Lily took a deep breath, trying to maintain her composure. "It's okay. Remember to check carefully next time." Having said that, she quietly clenched her fist, wiping away the cold sweat that had just broken out on her palm. "Thank goodness, it was just a misunderstanding." The assistant immediately added, "I've already inquired. Mr. Luke just went home." Lily nodded slightly, saying nothing more, turning to stride towards home. As soon as I stepped through the door, seeing the worried faces of my parents, her heart suddenly sank. My mother's voice trembled, as if about to cry. "I don't know what happened. Luke collapsed on the bed as soon as he got home and hasn't woken up since. We can't wake him up no matter how we call him." In Lily's mind, it was as if a thunderclap exploded. She immediately thought of the possibility that it might be due to excessive blood donation leading to a coma. But at this moment, there was no time to hesitate to explain to my parents. She immediately rushed into my bedroom. Standing by the bed, looking at my pale face lying there, she only felt an indescribable fear welling up in her heart. She recalled the words I had said before fainting, the words that were both like farewells and expressions of affection. The chaotic emotions intertwined, making her heart panic. In fact, she had never truly hated me. It was just that she was dissatisfied with the path her parents had arranged for her, with this forced marriage. But now she understood. She didn't want to continue hurting me because of those meaningless rebellions anymore. Lily quietly looked at my pale face and secretly made a decision in her heart. This time, when I woke up, she must personally apologize to me. Leaving the room, my mother had already dried her tears. My father coughed softly and then asked, "I heard Harry had an accident. How is he?" As soon as Lily heard this, her eyes immediately darkened. Her voice carried a hint of anger. "Luke went to tattle to my parents, and you two called to scold him? That's why he was distracted when crossing the road and had an accident." Hearing this, my mother laughed coldly. "That bastard, he really is something. I knew he wasn't up to any good. I didn't expect him to dare to play these tricks." She snorted, took out her phone, and played a recording. In the recording, Harry's voice rang out, full of calculation and scheming. "Aunt thinks that forcing Lily to marry Luke will make her truly love him. I just need to lift a finger, fabricate a few lies, and she will immediately run to find me. She believes me unconditionally. She only has me in her heart. Even if I play with her for a lifetime, she would willingly do it. But she's just a backup plan. Instead of loving someone one-sidedly, I still prefer to seek excitement from many people." In the recording, my mother was so angry she raised her voice to scold. "Shameless thing. Aren't you afraid of being struck by lightning and dying?" Harry in the recording only laughed disdainfully. The recording ended. Lily was stunned, her whole body as if drained of strength. Everything she had once believed in now turned out to be just a bitter joke. My mother gently patted her head, her voice carrying pity and sincerity. "I don't know what kind of drug that guy gave you, but that guy is full of schemes. One way in front of you, another way behind your back. This is his true face. Luke is a good boy. Even when he clearly knew Harry's true colors, he never spoke ill of him once. Even though he was hurt by you and him, he never told us. Luke has never harmed you. On the contrary, he has always been quietly protecting you. It's a pity that you two are not getting married. But now Luke is about to study abroad. We should still respect his decision." With each word her mother spoke, Lily's face became paler. Hearing the last sentence, she immediately caught the key point. Study abroad? Study abroad what? My mother was surprised. You don't know? Luke is going abroad to study. He said he didn't want to delay your life, so he canceled the wedding. This is impossible. Lily mumbled. Clearly, we got the marriage certificate. In her mind, my words from yesterday suddenly rang out. Take a look tomorrow, there might be a surprise. Her hand trembled as she took out the marriage certificate. Opening the first page, the name of the man on it was not Luke, but Harry. Lily's hand suddenly trembled violently, her eyes full of shock and disbelief. Why is it like this? How could it be him? Tears fell, staining the bright red seal of the marriage certificate. Her heart felt as if a piece had been gouged out, aching to the point of suffocation. She angrily threw the marriage certificate into the trash can, then immediately turned and quickly walked into my room. She knelt down beside the bed, gently taking my cold hand. Tears could no longer be controlled, falling drop by drop onto the back of my hand. So I have been deceived all these years. In the end, the only person who treated me sincerely is you. She bit her lip lightly, trying to suppress the emotions surging in her heart. After a while, she gently helped me pull up the blanket, her eyes red, her voice as gentle as the spring breeze. Luke, wait for you to wake up. I want to personally tell you, from now on, I will always be by your side. From the moment I left the hospital, I had felt an invisible unease in my heart, as if something was urging me to return home immediately. Finally, when I stepped into my room, my nerves, which had been tense all day, were completely relaxed. Right then, I could no longer hold on, and collapsed onto the bed, falling into a coma. I knew the time of the time machine was up. When I opened my eyes again, reflexively, I propped myself up against the wall, rubbing my throbbing temples. A series of powerful memories flooded my mind. 10 years ago, after I was in a coma for a day and a night, when I woke up, Lily suddenly confessed her deep feelings for me. But at that time, after years of loving her in vain, my heart had completely cooled. I resolutely rejected her confession and left alone to study abroad. For the next 10 years, I devoted all my energy to studying and career. Everything went smoothly. After graduating, I returned to the country and became a professor teaching at a prestigious university. As for Lily, the day after discovering the problem with the marriage certificate, she immediately went to the Civil Affairs Bureau to complete the divorce procedures. This surprised me quite a bit, but fortunately, her actions did not affect my future. I also secretly breathed a sigh of relief. In the past 10 years, Lily no longer opposed me as before. The stomach problems I had in the previous timeline were also avoided this time. She now, compared to before, had lost some of her impulsiveness, replaced by the demeanor of a mature older sister. And for 10 years, she had always been quietly by my side. I gradually sorted out the memories in my head. Suddenly, a hand gently patted my shoulder. Professor Luke, your phone has been ringing for a long time. Do you need me to help you answer it? The student said, handing me the phone. Only then did I regain my senses, looking down at the screen. The caller was Lily's mother. I immediately answered the call. Luke, today is Lily's 30th birthday. You come to have a meal too. Hearing the words 30th birthday, I reflexively tensed up for a moment, but very quickly, I realized that the calamity had been resolved. I secretly breathed a sigh of relief and smiled, replying, of course, I'll be right there. That evening, when I returned home, Lily's parents had already prepared a lavish dinner. Her mother, as usual, wiped her hands on her apron and then hugged me tightly. Luke, welcome home. Looking at the warm scene before me, my nose suddenly stung. This time, her parents no longer resented me for Lily's death. Everything was exactly as it used to be. Seeing my red eyes, her mother couldn't help but laugh. This child, haven't been home for so long, moved to tears already? She said, laughing and gently patting my shoulder as if to comfort me. I felt the nerves that had been tense for so many years finally relax. While chatting with her parents, I learned the truth behind Harry's accident. At that time, he was actually framed by someone else. The person behind it was his ex-girlfriend. It was said that Harry had once clung to a wealthy older woman. After being deceived by him, the woman was resentful and sought revenge. She deliberately arranged a traffic accident, causing him to be seriously injured. Her mother snorted coldly, what goes around comes around. Even if he luckily escaped death in that accident, his life is still not good now. She lowered her voice again, saying, I heard recently he became a little third and was beaten badly by the wife when she found out. Now when he goes out, people point fingers at him. No one cares about him. I sighed, not knowing what to feel in my heart. Her father nodded slightly, slowly saying, "The law of karma is true. Good and evil are rewarded accordingly." At this moment, the doorbell rang. I walked over to open the door, just in time to meet Lily's eyes. She smiled gently. "Long time no see, Luke." Looking at her appearance, a memory suddenly flashed in my mind. A week ago, my university received a new notice. The most outstanding professors in the department would have the opportunity to be selected for the top research institute. As the brightest young professor, I was naturally on the shortlist. But in the final days, a new regulation was issued. Due to age, I was disqualified from the list. At that time, I only mentioned this matter to Lily in a conversation. Unexpectedly, she remembered it in her heart. And then, when the final list was announced, I reappeared on it. That day, I found her at a coffee shop. I opened my mouth and asked directly, "Did you help me with this? What method did you use?" She calmly replied, "Just gave up a little bit of shares. It doesn't affect anything." Then she gave a light smile. "You deserve it." I laughed out of anger. "Doesn't affect anything? You did this before getting the consent of the board of directors, right?" Lily only said indifferently, "That's not important, as long as you are happy." She looked at me, her voice as light as a breeze. "Because you are the most important person to me." "The most important person?" I silently looked at her, my eyes deep. Seemingly unable to bear my gaze, her earlobes reddened. She coughed lightly twice, then said, "2 days ago, I saw you liked a photo of race cars. Tonight, I have prepared a surprise for you." She paused for a moment, then continued, "I will take you there." I softly interrupted, "Lily." Seeing my expression was off, she hurriedly explained, "You don't like race cars? Sorry, then I'll reschedule. What do you like? Fireworks or going to the beach?" She looked tense, as if afraid I would refuse. This cautious, ingratiating appearance was so similar to me from back then. I sighed softly and slowly said, "What I mean is, you don't need to do so many things for me." I looked at her deeply and said softly, "We will never become lovers. Not now, and not in the future." Lily was struck hard by my words. Her eyes drooped down. She lowered her head, her voice becoming lower and lower. "You used to love me so much, but I didn't know how to cherish it. But I'm still not reconciled." "Why?" "Luke, clearly you used to love me so much. Why did one day you suddenly stop loving me?" Lily stared at me intently, her voice carrying undisguised trembling. "Luke, look into my eyes and tell me. Is it possible that now in your heart, there is really not a single bit of feeling left for me?" She excitedly grabbed my shoulders, her eyes earnestly seeking a true answer. "Not even a little bit left?" I slowly closed my eyes. How could there be none left? But that little bit of remaining feeling was not enough for me to have the courage to walk with her to the end of my life. My passionate and sincere love had long been eroded to depletion by the 10 years of pain in the previous marriage. I said softly, "Sorry, we really have no more chance." Lily's eyes dimmed. The hands that were holding my shoulders gradually loosened. But very quickly, she raised her head again, trying to force a smile. "It's okay. Being able to be your older sister is also a very happy thing." Her mother's call pulled me back to reality. I startled, snapping out of the stream of memories. In the main hall, the 4 of us sat around a square table. My eyes unconsciously glanced at Lily. Now she, and the Lily of the past life, were also 30 years old. There were many differences. The mature and steady temperament was still there, but this time it was much gentler than before. I was both filled with emotion and a little panicked. "It's good. She's still alive. Everything has changed." Her father raised his wine glass, looking at me and smiling. "Luke, today you say a few words of birthday wishes to Lily." I snapped back to reality, smiling and picking up my wine glass. I gently raised my glass towards her, my voice carrying sincerity. "I wish you, from now on, peace, happiness, a smooth life, and all the best." Lily was slightly stunned for a moment, quickly regaining her composure. She also raised her glass, gently clinking it with mine. "You too, Luke. I will be a good older sister, forever by your side." The wine entered my throat, mellow and warm. And in this very moment, I let go of all the love that had lasted for more than 10 years. Finally, it could be put down now. This meal we ate was very happy. The 3 most important hurdles in my heart had passed. From now on, there was nothing more to worry about. The future would surely be peaceful and smooth.